Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today I want to talk about something that's been coming to the forefront of our minds a lot lately. It never used to be an issue, but in this day and age, a lot of us are feeling unsafe even in our own homes. This feeling of unease leads me specifically to the topic I would like to discuss, the concept of castle law, and it's sad but I believe enacting this law in Australia is completely useless. The idea behind castle law is simple. My home is my sanctuary, and I have the right to defend it and myself from an intruder. It sounds great in theory, but what happens when I don't have the tools to do so? An intruder breaks into my home, my safe space, at a time when I'm supposed to be relaxing and not preparing for a fight. This isn't Game of Thrones, and I don't want to be your next easy kill. An intruder has already started the encounter on the wrong terms, so it's an unfair fight from the beginning. I'm already caught off guard, and I now need to find something I can use to defend myself, probably from a male who, even at the age of 16, is stronger than me, faster than me, and has already calculated what they have broken into my house to get. Before he gets anywhere near me, I want to be able to stop him in his tracks and be able to do it from a safe distance. I want access to what is called a burner. A burner is a device like a gun that you can use from a distance, but it discharges non-lethal projectiles, not a bullet, so I don't need to come within range of the perp and I'm not going to kill them. I have attached a link so people can see what they are. Pepper spray sounds good for those who haven't had any reason to think about what they may want to defend themselves, but you still need to get close to a person to use it. I should not need to get close to a person who is trying to attack me to be able to defend myself. If I can't access a burner, then I want access to another non-lethal projectile weapon. But in Australia, I don't have access to anything along these lines. So what am I reaching for? How am I going to stop the perp in their tracks and do it fast? What options are there for an Australian homeowner to stop an intruder? Let's be honest, the idea of stopping to call the police is useless in this type of situation. And if my husband, who goes from cute and cuddly to grizzly bear in no seconds flat, is away, what am I going to do? By the time I've realized what's happening, I may not even have access to my phone. And even if I do, police can be minutes or even longer away. An attack can be over in seconds. The simple fact is, when your safety is at risk, you are on your own. This is why it's so critical to have the means to defend yourself in the moment. In Australia, the law asks you to be reasonable in the face of a home invasion. Think about that for a second. An intruder crashes into your home, your sanctuary, and the law expects you to be a calm, rational actor. They expect a fair fight. What a joke. The real world isn't a sparring match where everyone shakes hands at the end. It's a fight for your life, and the law's delusion could get you killed. When your family is in danger, reasonable is not a word you want to be thinking about. The only thing that matters is survival, and the law should recognize that. So how do we make disarming a perp an unreasonable fight in favor of the homeowner? Are we willing to empower people to protect themselves with tools they can use without resorting to lethal force? Navigating self-defense laws in Australia can be confusing, as most tools commonly associated with non-lethal self-defense are prohibited weapons in most states in this country. This includes things like pepper spray, stun guns, and tasers, which are illegal for civilian possession and use in most states and territories, and the penalties to use them are severe. The exception is Western Australia, where pepper spray is classified as a controlled weapon and can be legally owned and used under certain circumstances. While items like personal safety alarms are generally legal as they're not considered weapons, other everyday objects can become illegal if carried with the specific intent to use them for self-defense. This mindset is crazy. How is it the Australian government, in its benevolence, does not want to bestow on us the right to defend ourselves? The overarching principle across all Australian jurisdictions is that any force used for self-defense must be both reasonable and necessary for the situation, a legal standard that can make using any form of weapon a complex and risky choice. Across Australia, the debate over stronger self-defense rights for homeowners, castle law, has gained momentum with differing approaches across states and territories. In New South Wales and Victoria, Recent public e-petitions have called for amendments to the Crimes Acts to provide clearer legal protections, citing overseas models, though no legislative changes have followed. Queensland, driven by Katter's Australian Party, has seen large-scale petitions attracting tens of thousands of signatures, increasing political pressure despite no new laws. South Australia offers a complete defence, even in murder cases, if the accused genuinely believed a home invasion was occurring, regardless of proportionality. Western Australia and the Northern Territory also follow a reasonable and necessary standard, but are seen as more flexible when threats of death or serious harm are involved. Tasmania stands out with its defensive dwelling provision, explicitly allowing force, including lethal force, to prevent intrusions if a crime is reasonably believed to be intended. Overall, while the formal castle law doctrine remains absent in Australia, the ongoing e-petitions and public discourse reflect a strong desire from the community for legal reforms that would grant them a clearer and more robust right to defend their homes without fear of legal reprisal. I believe we need to go one step further, and we need to legalise more tools so that people can protect themselves, and there are plenty of non-lethal options to choose from. We just need a government willing to give Australians the right to defend themselves. We need to have an open conversation about this. It's not about encouraging violence, but about ensuring that a law designed to protect a homeowner's sanctuary actually gives them the means to do so.